if we win our last 3 Premier League matches, Liverpool will win their first Premier League. But, at the end of last episode, City were 4 points clear. How on earth has that happened? I'll explain all that to you in a minute. We've got a titanic episode ahead with 3 matches. This will be the penultimate episode of the main season. If we get to the Champions League final, there will be a further episode. But that, of course, will be determined today. Hello there, folks, and welcome to part 16 of the FM20 Liverpool beta save. I told you things were getting exciting, and my God, I think I was going for, and then went boy, but oh well. Yeah, my God, things have got interesting. Let's have a look at how we've gone before focusing on our title challengers, Manchester City. Of course, after losing 2-0, our first loss since December against Aston Villa in the Premier League, we bounced back in style by beating Burnley by 4-0. Flying high, Burnley are in 8th place. I did worry that perhaps it might have been a little bit of a struggle, but as you can see, 19 shots for us, 11 on target, a very, very solid game, and Origi really the man of the match. Very good stuff. We have a goal before half-time and completing the route really at 3-0 before the hour mark. And then we went and battered Newcastle. It looks like going to be relegated Newcastle. Firmino scored in the first 30 seconds, but at half-time, believe it or not, it was 1 each. Origi, Salah and Texera finished off the route really with 4-1. Fabian Schär did get one back to make it 4-2, which isn't great in terms of goal difference. Goal difference could be very important. I'll explain that in just a minute. And Sadio Mane got a further goal to make it 5-2. So 2 fairly convincing wins. But let's talk firstly, before anything else, how on earth we've got to this point. We have not led the Premier League all season. All season up to now. Up to match 35. We've been second for a long time. All the way since the 18th of January. And City have led the league since match 7. So, after 28 matches leading the Premier League, how has it come to this? Well, I will tell you. After their win against us in the FA Cup semi-final, they had their first draw in the league since that draw against Crystal Palace. The first drop points since they lost to us. And they drew 1 each from Manchester United away from home. They took an early lead courtesy of Raheem Sterling. Scrap that drop points thing, by the way. I forgot that they lost to Chelsea. How do we turn that round? It's not even at home. Yeah, let's just forget that stat ever existed. But Victor Lindelof, the most unexpected of scorers, managed to get one in. And I bought Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, providing that he's still the manager there. Yes, I bought Solskjaer a very hearty drink after that. And it was certainly Brendan Rodgers, our former manager, who gave us a big nod and a big help. Again, City taking the lead from a penalty. And it was very similar timing, actually, for City. But at the King Power Stadium, Dennis Pratt did get an equaliser, and it finished 1 each. So City have dropped 4 points, which of course means that their 4-point lead in the Premier League has gone. And if we win our last 3 Premier League games, we've won the title. And the reason I was on about goals earlier and why they might be important is, as you can see, we're on a mirror. 25 games won, 7 drawn, 3 lost. In theory, both teams will probably win the next 3. And we're in not in the first place, but in prime position to win the title if that happens. But goal difference will massively come into it. I do believe it's goal difference and then goals scored. So if it ends up on a tie in terms of goal difference, we should win in terms of goals scored. Because I can't imagine there'll be an 11-goal turnover between now and then, and effectively a 14-goal turnover if we win all of those matches by at least 1 goal. But yeah, we're 2 goals better off than City, so just better off. And really, those pounding wins against Newcastle and Burnley have really secured that. And amazing, really, that this title race is coming to a head like this. I just didn't expect it, especially when we dropped points against Wolves. I think we were 8 points down on Man City, and I thought, no, it ain't going to happen. But City have dropped points. They lost to Chelsea, they drew against Leicester, and lost again. Actually, it must have been a 7-point gap, but yeah, they've dropped 7 points. Of course, we've won our last 3 Premier League games, and that is magnificent. But before we look at the Premier League, we're going to turn our attention to the Champions League. That is what we're going to be playing in first against Napoli at home at Anfield, followed by the Merseyside Derby. And because I feel special, and because this is such a massive episode, we're going to have a 3-match episode, so strap yourself in. It could be a really long one, and I do apologise for that if you don't like the long haul stuff, but this is definitely going to be a long haul episode with the second leg against Napoli next up. And then, of course, tomorrow, that will leave time for the Premier League finale against Bournemouth and Arsenal. So let's have a look how we've got to the Champions League semi-final, just in case you needed a reminder. We've got here, courtesy, certainly recently, of beating Bayern Munich and Real Madrid without actually beating them. We registered 1 each draws away from home, and then took it to Anfield and finished it 0-0, and that has been enough in the group stages. We battered the teams in the group stage, won 6 matches out of 6. And as a result, we're down to 4 teams. It looks like the other tie is over. Juventus beat Paris Saint-Germain by 6 goals to 2 at the Zebra Stadium. That's not right. It's the Juventus. I don't know what Juventus Stadium actually is. I don't know. But that is the, of course, unlicensed name for Juventus in the game, Zebra. I do quite like that. I actually get it now. But anyway, yeah, I won't tell you, but surely you get what they're implying by Zebra. Anyway, it was actually PSG who took an early lead courtesy of Neymar, but it's 6-2 in that tie. But I suppose it's not ridiculous to say PSG could go and win 4-0. So I suppose that tie's not all over. But we are playing against Napoli today. Let's see if we can do well in the first leg at Anfield, because that is crucial. In the last 2, we've played away first. It's going to be a bit of an interesting one, playing at home first. And next up, we'll see the side that's going to play in this first leg. So this is the team that will face Napoli in the first leg at Anfield. A relatively unchanged side to usual. Laporte is going to slot in alongside Van Dijk now. He seems to be a better defender than Joel Matip, and has done very well since he's come into the club with an average rating of 7.21. So not really put a foot wrong so far with Robertson at left back. We've put Henderson in the midfield as opposed to Milner. We have got Cage as an option, but Oxlade-Chamberlain is still injured and will probably be out, it looks like, until the end of the season. And that has just reminded me of something pretty crucial when you think about it, particularly in the title race that's happened between matches. Our assistant manager buggered off to Tottenham. Peter Crouch went to Tottenham. Of course, Jurgen Klopp has been appointed there, and it was Crouch brought into the club by Jurgen Klopp. And yeah, he was wooed by Klopp to go to Tottenham, and of course that was massive. That was absolutely huge. So we had to get a new assistant manager. So we brought Sammy Lean, one of the most experienced, former assistant manager for England, Palace, Everton. Not really great, but oh well. Former assistant for ourselves, of course, former Liverpool player. And yeah, he's been at the club for a long time as a coach and assistant manager, and was really probably the best man to bring in at this point. And hopefully it doesn't make too much of a difference that Crouch has gone. But I forgot to say that, but that was a pretty big moment. We've got Salah on the wing with Shaqiri again. Mane not quite up to match fitness, but to be quite honest, it's tricky to leave Shaqiri out of the team at the moment. You can see he's doing very well. And then Bobby Firmino starts up front, and hopefully it won't be a 0-0 at home, because, well, I suppose I'd rather it be 0-0 than a Napoli 4-0 win, but you know what I mean. We really could do with winning this by quite a margin, just to have not so much pressure going into that second leg. The pressure's on so much in the Premier League, particularly now for the first time that we are the main challengers, in my opinion. We are the favourites for this. If we go in our next 3 games, it's in our hands. And as you can see, he's been rock solid. But we're not going to put the pressure on him. He's as important as everybody else is, the same as Shaqiri. We're not going to put too much pressure on those players. I think the worst thing that could happen today is to lose this match. And I think with a serious chance of winning the Premier League, this is really an inconvenience. But Champions League semi-final, it's not like the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup. You can't just go, oh, I'm not really too bothered about it. I'm not bothered at all. We'll just have to put a second string team out. No, of course not. It's the Champions League, for God's sake. We are fighting to keep the Champions League trophy from last year. And if we win it twice in a row, bear in mind that would be 3 finals in a row if we beat Napoli. That would be pretty special, wouldn't it? Goodness me. 3 Champions League finals in a row. And we might well win the Premier League as well. So, you know, Premier League winners, Champions League finalists. Of course, it could all come crashing down. We could be out of the Champions League semi-final and not win the Premier League. There is that. But you've got to be in it to win it. Anyway, half an hour in. Not much happened so far. We are heading probably towards that 0-0 scoreline. But Napoli, despite dominating the possession, have only had 1 shot today. Are they going to get a second shot here? You do wonder. Mario Rui along the wing. Alexander-Arnold, not really great in terms of his marking there. But Lozano gets too much space, arguably. And Wijnaldum has... looks like he's conceded a foul. Very rare we have that, actually, because we do tell the lads to stay on their feet as not to concede a foul like this. And it'll probably be the first penalties we've conceded all year, if it is a penalty. The referee going to look over the video. This could be crucial. Bear in mind, Napoli could get an away goal. He's reviewing the footage as Trent Alexander-Arnold conceded a penalty here. I said he was struggling with his man marking. Has he been beaten and got frustrated? It happened outside the box. Free kick. That is the biggest letdown ever. We're going to tell Trent Alexander-Arnold to calm down because, yeah, I think probably say no pressure to him. I think that's probably better than calm down because, yeah, calm down just isn't going to work in this state. He's already nervous. It's a massive match, and just to tell a player to calm down is a little bit patronising in my opinion. And Napoli don't get anything, but I'll be back in just a second. Well, I do apologise about that, but just to provide some context, the F1 race has been on a pretty special race, and Lewis Hamilton's just picked up a penalty, but straight back to the FM. I'm knackered after running down the stairs, but I'm sure my heartbeat would be a lot stronger? No, higher, of course. A lot higher if I was really focused on this match, which we are going to do now. And at half-time, it is 0-0. We're going to tell the lads it was a disappointing performance, I agree. Because we've not even begun to dominate. It's been Napoli who's dominated this game so far. Despite having 7 shots, you can feel how knackered I am. 36% of possession for us, despite having 7 shots. Napoli really haven't utilised their possession well. The worst thing to happen now, of course, would be for Napoli to score a goal. Let's see what happens. Alexander-Arnold into the box. Nothing really going on. It's a counter-attack for Napoli. Trent Alexander-Arnold seems to be struggling quite a bit today. It's not really something we want to see. Callahan into Napoli. Oh, well. Into Nazano, now into Zigner. And again, it was another mistake from Trent Alexander-Arnold and makes you wonder whether we just need a bit more support out on that wing for Trent Alexander-Arnold. It does make you wonder a little bit. But a real mishap by the Napoli defender, number 44, gives a chance to Shaqiri, and it's just hit the side netting. And I think what we are going to do... No, we can't change our tactic for some reason. Right, let's change it now. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's bring Salah back to a supporting role, just to make sure that Trent Alexander-Arnold can cope back there, I think. Put him as a full-back on support. Same as Robertson. What we'll do, we'll put you as an attacking player then, in that case. But anybody want to bring off? No, I don't think so at the moment. We'll keep it as it is, even though nothing really seems to be happening. That's a real trait in this Champions League. Is it? My glasses looking silly. They are, because they're half off. Look like a bit of a buffoon. We'll change that straight away. Anyway, Koulibaly back to Murray. Blimey, it's been a weird episode, and I'm sure it'll be a weird episode for the duration. Anyway, Koulibaly to Insigne. Are we going to concede the first goal this match? Just make you wonder. Insigne beats Van Dijk. Alexander-Arnold can't quite get there, but a mishap from there. Could this be a counter-attack for us? Wijnaldum very strong to run throughout the pitch. He's keeps running. Just square it, man. Oh, that's greedy. He went for the goal. He went for it. He got it on target. It wasn't the worst shot in the world. But that was a little bit greedy. We're going to encourage the lads. That's all we can really do at this point. They're all quite nervous, which, to be fair, is quite surprising, really. So I don't really know what we can do in this situation. We can't really tell them to push up or anything, because, again, they'll get nervous. But what we are going to do, we're going to bring Texera on for Shax. We are going to bring Origi on for Firmino and leave it there at the moment. A little bit more attacking depth. See if that makes a difference in this match. If it ends 0-0, it's not the biggest problem in the world, because they don't get an away goal. That's probably the main objective here. Again, we'd love to win the match, but that is probably the main objective in this match. We're also going to bring Keita on as an advanced playmaker. That's gone against my objective, I know, of getting a point and them not getting an away goal, because we probably need to bring a new defender on. But unbelievably, it's been a very boring Champions League game again. We're going to tell the lads that I wasn't really good enough, because he didn't really give enough there. But goodness me, I hope it's a lot better in the next match. And, of course, in the next match, which is the Everton Merseyside Derby. We certainly need to go and win that. And that is going to be next up. But I suppose we're in the driving seat going away from home. No goals as of yet, which means that away goals, really, is in our court. Well, before the game against Everton, the Merseyside Derby, which is going to be a must-win match, of course. Just a few things to go over. Origi has won the Player of the Month for April. 5 appearances, 4 goals, an average rating of just over 8, with Salah coming second and Ozil finishing third. And Divock Origi, I dedicated the award to me. We didn't win the manager award, though. That was Frank Lampard for beating West Ham, Manchester City, Norwich and Arsenal. Yeah, fair enough. Trent Alexander-Arnold was third in that. But the most important thing now is that City play their game earlier than us. They play at 12 o'clock against Newcastle, the team that we battered last time out. Can Newcastle help us out? We're second. That could mean a point or 3. Yeah, it was 3 points for Man City. Not really a surprise. 4-0 win. Exactly what they needed against Newcastle. Which now means, quite interestingly, because that was a big result for City, that we need to win by at least 2 goals to retain that first place in the league. And to do that, we've gone for quite a risky formation. One that, if it doesn't work out, we could be poised to regret quite a bit come the end of the season. I'm actually going to change a few things around, so I'm not quite satisfied with that. But that is what we're going to go for. A 4-2-2 formation. What we've been used to in the games against lesser sides. But I think it'll work today. I'm quite confident it'll work. We used it in the 2 games against Burnley and Newcastle. We scored goals. I don't think this match will be any different. So the usual back line with Laporte in there now, as I said earlier. Fabinho and Wijnaldum in the midfield. We'll swap those two about. We've got Salah and Mane. Mane back on the wing. just to see how he gets on today. If he doesn't get on well, then Shaqiri will play for the rest of the season. And then look at that, Bobby Firmino and Divock Origi. Divock Origi, as I said earlier, played very well when given the chance. He only really gets a chance when there's two men up front, so he's going to be given that chance today. And this is a massively crucial game. Every game is a milestone now. Every single match is a milestone. And this, really, more than any other match. If it being the Merseyside Derby, we need all 3 points today, or else it goes straight back into City's hand. What a lot of pressure City playing before us. I don't particularly like that, to be honest. I prefer us to play at the same time, because it does put a bit of pressure. But, I suppose, as it says, yeah, I suppose as it says, you know, we know what we've got to do. But ultimately, as I've just said, it doesn't really matter when we kick off. We knew we've got to win this match. So let's go and win it. The worst thing to happen now, of course, for us to be us to go and lose. Then City have a 3-point gap. And they are laughing going into the next match. But let's see what happens. Salah with a very early chance. A bit of poor Everton defending. I don't quite know what happened there. Another one-on-one gone skewy. I'd love to see if you've got any one-on-ones that have actually been scored in FM20, for goodness sake. Because it doesn't seem that any of them have been scored. We're going to tell our lads to stay on our feet. Very important in a game like this against Everton. Of course, we've got our full squad for the matches against Bournemouth and Arsenal. It would be silly, wouldn't it, to get a man sent off or something. But Salah has got a bit of a problem. I don't quite know what the problem is. But he is back on the pitch. So only temporarily down to 10 men. Moise Kean is one-on-one with the keeper. And of course, the only one-on-one which involves the other bleeding team, they go and score. And that was quite poor, to be honest, from our lads. Very poor defensive effort. Moise Kean just ran through. Nothing to do with the fact we had 10 minutes. I don't really accept that. But a very good assist from Mina, to be fair. He went over the head of Laporte, who today hadn't really made too much of a mistake. But poor, really, from Alisson. He should have just got his leg there or something. But can we fight back? That's what we've got to do now. That's happened. Mane with a shot. And that is a goal for us. But could well be offside. No, it's an own goal. Own goal from Jordan Pickford. And as I've said, it was all about how we bounced back. That was in the past. I think it seems very distant past now because we're straight back to level pegging. Salah, come on. Laporte headed it over to Mane, and Pickford seemed to just get his hand from it. I mean, Mane's shot was going to be on target, to be fair. But very good stuff from, good shot from Sadio Mane. Good scene back in the side. And we do make it one each. Is there going to be goals in this tie? It certainly looks like it. Sigurdsson with an early chance straight away after that chance. But this is a little bit unnervy, of course. We want to score goals, but we don't want to concede them. I know this formation does invite a bit of defensive vulnerability. I understand that. But as well as that, we have got that attacking depth, which you could argue on the other formation we've got isn't really present. It's more of a cautious formation than this. I think this guarantees goals, but of course has the risk of conceding as well. Very good ball from Salah to Fabinho, almost swapping places really there. But Fabinho puts it into the box for Firmino. And Pickford picks it straight. So apologies if I lose my voice slightly through this video because A, it's a long video, and B, it's fair to say during the Grand Prix I did shout quite a bit. So, yeah. But if you did watch the Grand Prix, you'll probably understand why. But it was a bit of a boring race till the last 5 laps. But anyway, this is about Football Manager, not about the F1. But with 10 minutes to go in this first half, it is still one each. Still a draw. I'm okay with that at the moment. That is absolutely fine. But it would be very nice before half-time just to get 2-1 up. Just to get register a lead before half-time. The last thing we want to happen, of course, is for Everton to take a lead before half-time. Digna, though, on the edge of the box. Beats Alexander-Arnold, and it's a goal for Richarlison. I'll tell you something. Alexander-Arnold is very, very vulnerable at that right-back position. I really do think he is. I think I might have to bring him off at half-time. That's 2 games in a row now where he's been beaten. Oh, dear. Sigurdsson's got a free kick. Oh, thank God, it hits the side netting. But Everton are in front at the moment. We need 3 wins to guarantee this title. And at the moment, we're doing the opposite. If we miss this golden opportunity by losing only our 4th game of the season in the Premier League, well, who else can you blame? City have handed it to us on a plate. We were 8 points behind. 7, behind. This is terrible. Moise Kean with the shot. Oh, lads just don't look up to it. They really don't, even though they were offside. But we're going to give our lads a smack, really. We're not going to give them a right rollicking and see what happens. But I'm going to bring Trent off. I am, because he just looks nervy. Really does in that right back position. Not sure what's happened to him. But nevertheless, we are 2-1 back, and we have to go very attacking. We have to do that at this point, because if we don't, then we could get to the last 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and still require 2 goals. And this is getting very unnerving now. Of course, our last loss was away from home. We have not lost at home this year. It's away from home that's our issue, but great stuff from Robertson to get that back. Could this be the second goal? Let's find out. Good ball up to Robertson. As you can see, a bit more attacking depth. Come on, Firmino. Score a one-on-one for Christ's sake. See, when it's a one-on-one for us, we never bloody finish it. Oh, I don't know. We need 2 goals anyway in 34 minutes to keep our title hopes alive. And Everton would love it, wouldn't they, if they were the one to break it. But I mean, they're in 14th. We shouldn't be beaten by Everton. But what's Laporte done? What has Laporte done? Thank goodness that it seems it wasn't any issue. I really thought that could have been a red card and really finish us off. But it's a free kick for Mo Salah, which for some reason doesn't come to anything. They didn't show it. But come on, we need something here. What is going on? Oh, I hate these situations. I really do, when you're just powerless. Absolutely powerless to do anything. Oh, it's horrible. There's only so much you can do as the manager. Ultimately, in a title race, you should be focused. And the one thing I forgot to do before the match, it said give the lads a team meeting to try and bolster them up a bit. I haven't done that. Oh, I just wonder if that made the difference. Still, no excuse at this point. Texera comes on up front just to see if we've got something up front. We need 2 goals. We need 2 goals. Oh, I somehow felt this would happen, you know. Oh, for goodness sake. If we lose this, City have won the title for me. They've given us far too many chances. Come on. Very attacking. What else can we do? We just need something. They've dominated us today, to be fair to Everton. They have dominated us. Can we get the ball up? Come on, we are pleading for this. Pleading, just come on. Lovely ball from Alisson up to Mo Salah. Can we get an equaliser? That'd be perfect at this point. Salah cuts inside. Shaqiri. Shaqiri, come on. Get something off Coleman. Fabinho. Oh, how's he missed that? How has he missed that? Oh my God. I just thought that would be the breakthrough. We've made all our substitutions. We can't do anything. Oh no. We got 6 minutes. It's not going to happen, is it? Oh, I hate this. I absolutely hate it. Oh, it's so good to be on the winning side, but it really isn't good to be on the losing side. Oh, 4 minutes to get. Just come on. We need something. We've got to have all men up front now. We've just got to go for this. We can't do much about it. We really can't. We've got to have 2 ball-playing defenders. Oh, I hate that. Advanced playmaker attack. Central midfielder automatic. We've just got to go attacking, attacking, attacking. That is all we can do at this point. Oh, I hate Football Manager. I really do. I hate it sometimes. 4 minutes to get 2 goals. Ain't going to happen, is it? But that's all we can do. The clock's ticking down, folks. 4 minutes of added time. We're not going to do it. For God's sake. We've lost. Ah! Bloody hell. We were in the driving seat. It was a must win. That was bloody terrible. And we bottled it. We bottled it. We had it in our hands. Flipping heck. Well, we've got 2 games to go. City really only need to win one of those. They've got Everton and West Ham. Luckily, not the easiest of matches. I just hope Everton give them a good game. I can guarantee they won't. Then West Ham. Anyway, our first defeat in the Premier League. For a long time. First defeat in 2020. And again, it's away from home. It's away from home. Well, you might have noticed an abrupt end to that second part. And I wasn't on about me being grumpy or anything. The microphone cut out. And thank God I figured that out. Believe me, I panicked when I started recording this segment. I thought, no, are you joking? Is the whole episode gone? But luckily it hasn't. That's why I've cut out the end of that Everton segment. If there's other bits that's been cut out because of the microphone being a bit intermittent, I do apologise for that. Fingers crossed there hasn't been, and fingers crossed it's all been okay. From what I've just looked at, it's been absolutely okay. But anyway, apart from that public service announcement, we have to be positive. I feel we have no right to be positive, but this isn't the Premier League. It's got nothing to do with the Premier League. Today we are fighting for a place in the Champions League semi-final. At least the team will take that on. It's the same team Really, of course, they're at different formation. I think that's what we're going to be playing with till the rest of the season. I think that is too risky to go attacking. But it's not what lost us the match. Just a poor performance lost us the match against Everton, really. But, yeah, a fairly box-standard side. I think it's the same side that played against them in the first leg, if I'm correct. Apart from Sadio Mane out on the left wing. Oh, I am really still sulking from that Everton game. I mean, you never know what twists can come tomorrow. You remain hopeful, don't you? But I just can't see it. I just can't see it. It would mirror last season, wouldn't it, if we went and won the Champions League? But I really hope this game has not it's not affected the lads. We expect the lads to come back as finalists. They were nervous last time. And, yeah. Well, one change we have made that you'll notice is that Alexander-Arnold's out of the squad, and it is Joe Gomez at right back. He looked incredibly nervous for the last few matches, and I've just took him out because he just seems to be suffering a little bit. I don't know if that's something that's just happened, that he's lost the odd challenge, and unfortunately that's all I've been able to watch, and that's affected my judgment as a result, but we'll quickly find out. It seems to have had a good start away from home. 3 shots in 13 minutes, and very positive from Salah there. You watch it be terrible at the finish. Thank you very much. That's something we've got to sort out, but something that really is out of my power. Apart from really disciplining the players, but again, it would be a weird system because the players have absolutely no idea why I'm disciplining them. Because I'm telling the wingers particularly to shoot less often and cross more often. Great they're having a run to the keeper, but effectively that's just wasting time, isn't it? But half an hour in, still no goals. The Champions League, really the jinx of no goals so far. You watch there be like 6 goals at half time. But of course, at the moment, this is good enough for us to take it to extra time. But we do need a goal in this match at least to win and go through to the semi-final. But at half time, it's 0-0. I'm going to ask Sammy Lee to give the. There we go. Sammy Lee kind of was going to give the same as I was going to, but the benefit of experience I think would help me out in my first season as manager. Sorry. In this situation, we're very positive. We've restricted Napoli just the 1 shot so far. This is much more like the team that we're playing as usually. But again, still lacking the goals, unfortunately. But an hour in, Napoli only having 2 shots, but seem to be getting on top of us a little bit now. What do we do at this point? We're going to bring Wijnaldum off. He seems a little bit tired. We'll bring James Milner on for him. Or do we, actually? That's the problem. We're not having Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. There's not 2 options as a midfielder. But we'll put James Milner in the advanced playmaker option. I believe in him. And we're also going to bring Xherdan Shaqiri on at left wing. I think he just performs in the Champions League very well. So he's going to come on for Mane, who's still recovering a little bit. But ultimately, at the moment, not much seems to be happening. A goal for either side could finish off the other side's chances of qualifying for the final. It all comes down to this. But poor defensive pass from Napoli. We could have a chance here. Henderson back to Van Dijk. Hoofs it up to Mo Salah. He controls it quite well. Beats the defender. Cuts inside. Shoots. Yes! Oh, thank goodness for that. The one time he does it, he gets it right. He sends our lads into raptures away from home. Merritt, or Merray, I don't really know how his name goes. But at the moment, we are through to the Champions League final, ladies and gents. I'll tell you what, the ups and downs in management. You could tell how sulking I was, but it's amazing how a goal just changes the tide completely. Merritt or Merray had got to it, but just fumbled it a little bit, really. It was Van Dijk with the assist. And they need 2 goals now to go through to the next round, to the final. So I think that we have got this covered. Although I'd never like to say anything too positive too quickly, because you just simply never know what can happen. But we've brought Robertson off. He's absolutely knackered. And Alexander-Arnold on at left back. We're going to tell the lads we're going to go to counter-attacking because they need 2 goals now. So I don't think they're going to get it, but you just simply never know. We're going to get to counter-attacking. Tell the lads to tighten up and just hope that they don't score 2 goals. As you can see, we're in no hurry to take the throw in here. We've got 7 minutes to go. We're time wasting already. I know that could be dangerous, but I don't think they're going to get 2 goals. And time wasting the best way to do it. Good ball from Shaqiri into Salah, and Salah could have just finished it off there. Salah was offside though. A bit of time wasting. That's good to see. I think with this more defensive stance, we shouldn't have much of a problem. But my goodness me, these things have been tight. They've been really tight, haven't they, these Champions League matches? And it looks like we're going to go from the peril of heartbreak to fantastic. That's the only way I can describe it. To absolute awe and fantastic nature, because slightly overwhelming, but we're into the Champions League final. I meant underwhelming, not overwhelming, but we're into the Champions League final. I apologise that those 2 games were incredibly boring, but we are through to the Champions League final. Wow. We've qualified for the Club World Cup already. How on earth has that happened? I don't understand that. How have we qualified for the Club World Cup? I thought it was winning the Champions League. Perhaps you guys might be able to tell me why we have, but I've got absolutely no idea. Salah's out for a few days, it worries me a little bit. We've got 10 million for winning that game, and I don't know who we're playing in the final yet. And what we will do is see how that game goes on between Juventus and PSG, and that will set up the Champions League final for in 2 episodes' time. I mean, I don't know how to feel. We've bottled the Premier League in effect, but we have a big chance. We're only 1 game away from winning the Champions League. I don't know how to feel at the moment. I think that one puts the frighteners on a little bit, doesn't it? Goodness me, look at the aggregate score, 8-3. But Juventus are the team that we face in the Champions League final. See if we can win our 2nd successive Champions League final. But before that, tomorrow, it is the day of reckoning. I know it's not in our hands, but things can change very quickly. We play Bournemouth and Arsenal. Man City play Everton and West Ham. Everton beat us. Can they beat Man City and do us a favour? You'll have to see tomorrow. But things can definitely change. I have to be hopeful at this point. But we have got the Champions League final. 3 games to look forward to. Very simple. 2 Premier League matches tomorrow. And the Champions League final on Wednesday. Thank you for sticking around for this bumper episode. Probably shorter than a regular episode because of how boring the 2 Champions League matches were. But it doesn't matter in the Champions League final. Premier League not so good though. But tomorrow you will see the day of reckoning. Can we win the Premier League title? Let me know what you think down below. Can we turn this round? It's out of our hands. All we've got to do now is win these 2 matches fairly comprehensively. Arsenal is going to be a challenge, but Bournemouth an equal challenge. We'll have to see how we go on. You can find that out tomorrow in tomorrow's video. But if you did enjoy that, leave a like down below. Laugh at my sorrow. Laugh at my despair against Everton. But also cheer the fact that we're through to the Champions League final. Comment down below your thoughts as well, as I said earlier. And subscribe for daily FM20 content. But apart from that, thank you very much for your company in this bumper episode today. And I'm sure I'll see you tomorrow for that final episode of the Premier League season. Goodbye for now.